Let's be honest, we've all had those days. You wake up with good intentions. Today's the day you get back on track. You'll study, write, train, build that side project, but hours pass and nothing happens. You scroll, snack, stall, until suddenly it's midnight and you whisper that familiar promise, "I'll start tomorrow." That's the cycle. And it doesn't fail because you're lazy, it fails because motivation isn't designed to last. It's volatile, emotional, fleeting. We've been taught that progress is built on big, perfect, all-or-nothing effort. But that's the lie that keeps most people stuck. Because the truth is, progress doesn't die when you do less. It dies when you do nothing. And that's where the never go to zero rule comes in. Motivation feels powerful until it's gone. One day you're fueled by purpose, the next you can't even open your laptop. Traditional advice says, just push harder. But that mindset backfires because the bigger the task, the higher the activation energy it takes to begin. The harder it feels to start, the easier it is to delay. And once you skip a day, something dangerous happens. Your brain adjusts to inaction. That's the moment you enter the spiral, the 0 day. A 0 day is simple. It's a day where you make zero progress toward your goal. No writing, no workout, no action. And 1 0 day is rarely the problem. It's what it represents. Because once the chain breaks, it gets easier to break again. The brain learns patterns, and repetition builds identity. So when your identity shifts from someone who shows up to someone who skips, momentum collapses. That's why intensity doesn't win long-term. Consistency does. Tiny, repeated effort compounds like interest, and the math never lies. 1 unit of effort a day may feel small, but multiplied over months, it becomes unstoppable. Here's the rule, plain and simple. Never go to zero. Every day, you must perform at least 1 unit of effort toward your goal, even if it's microscopic, even if you're exhausted. Write 1 sentence. Do 1 push-up. Read 1 page. That's it. Because the goal isn't performance, it's presence. You're not trying to maximize productivity, you're maintaining momentum. And when you do, something incredible happens. Your brain rewards you, not for the size of the win, but for the fact that you didn't fail. That's dopamine. That's progress. That's psychological traction. It's the difference between spiraling and staying in motion. So, how do you apply this? Pick your target habit, the one area where you've been stuck. Maybe it's writing, learning, exercising, or building a business. Define your minimum viable action, your MVA, the smallest possible step that still counts as progress. If your goal is to write, your MVA could be 1 sentence. If it's to work out, 1 push-up. If it's to learn, open the book and read a single paragraph. It should feel too easy to fail. That's the point. Because once you do it, you've won. The day is not zero. Make it visible. Use a visual calendar, a notebook, a streak app, because progress you can see becomes progress you believe in. The chain becomes sacred. Every mark you make isn't just data, it's identity. Now, here's the paradox. Once you start, you often do more than the minimum. You write 1 sentence and end up writing a paragraph. You do 1 push-up and it turns into 20. Because the hardest part was never the doing, it was the starting. This is called the activation effect. Once the barrier is crossed, the brain enters a state of flow, the 1% rule in action. Every day you show up, even a little, you strengthen the neural loop that says, I am someone who shows up. Identity replaces motivation. And suddenly, you don't need to force discipline, you've become the kind of person who acts by default. But there's one rule you must remember. Some days will only be the minimum, and that's okay, because a day at 1% is infinitely better than a day at 0. Now, let's get real. Life happens. You'll get sick, travel, face burnout. That's where the never miss twice principle comes in. Missing 1 day, normal. Missing 2, that's a new habit, the wrong kind. So, if you slip, the next day becomes sacred. Your only job is to get back to 1 small action. Even on the worst days, you can still do something. Too tired to work out? Stretch for 30 seconds. Too overwhelmed to study? Read one sentence. Too exhausted to create? Write one word. It's not about effort, it's about evidence. You're proving again and again that you're still in the game. And once you've built that streak, 7 days, 14, 30, you'll feel the urge to expand. That's when you scale up your MVA. Go from one sentence to one paragraph, from one push-up to one set, from one page to 10. Not because you have to, but because you want to. That's growth. Organic, sustainable, self-generated. The never go to zero rule works because it rewires the reward system in your brain. Every time you take a micro action, you close a loop. That completion triggers dopamine, the same chemical responsible for motivation itself. So, instead of chasing motivation, you generate it by staying in motion. This is what psychologists call behavioral momentum. It's easier to keep moving than to restart from stillness. The smallest step creates the energy for the next. That's why perfectionism kills progress. You're not trying to be perfect, you're trying to stay connected. The secret to long-term consistency isn't intensity, it's continuity. So, here's your challenge. Pick one goal. Define your MVA, your bare minimum. Then do it today, even if it takes 10 seconds. Mark the first X on your calendar. That's your starting point. Your streak begins now. Because from this day forward, you don't chase motivation, you protect momentum. The goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is to never go to zero. Because success isn't built on heroic effort, it's built on small, stubborn consistency. One sentence, one rep, one decision at a time. That's how progress becomes permanent. That's how you break the cycle of procrastination. And that's how you transform your identity from someone who tries to someone who never stops showing up. So whatever your goal is, don't aim for perfection. Aim for presence. And remember this rule always: never go to zero.